Hey guys, today I want to share with you how I replace the chain guide on my electric mountain bike. I do it without removing the chain or the chain ring or the spider. I leave all of that in place, but I have a way to navigate in that very tight area and get the spacers and the chain guide and the bolt through them and tightened up without having to remove anything. So let's get into it. Just a quick word before we go too much further. The reason I'm replacing the chain guide on my bike is I was out riding my bike and I picked up a stick in my chain, and the stick wound through the chain ring and broke part of my chain guide and bent it. Okay, so first step is gluing the spacers onto a piece of paper, and what I have here is a 3x5 regular note card. And what I'm going to do is cut a strip, a little under an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch wide here. And, you want it narrow so that you'll be able to fit up in that tight space. Now I'm going to take a glue stick, and, you can use other glue, but I just found that a glue stick is just the right tackiness, and it dries relatively quickly. But I put a little glue on that strip that I cut, and now I'm putting the spacers on, and you want to get glue on each spacer. Now this glue dries relatively quickly, and what happens, it becomes tacky, it gets stuck on your fingers, and makes the whole process kind of interesting. But if you just keep working with it and putting the glue on the spacer and stacking them up, you can get it. Just be a little patient here. But you want to also be pretty liberal with the glue. I found that a little extra glue helps. Once you get them all on there, you need to mash it down to get out any excess glue that you have on there. And then take the bolt that you're going to run through it and just make sure that the spacers are all lined up. And that's how you get the first one. And then for the second one, you just follow the same process. And now, once you get it done, they should look like this. You want them at the end of that sheet of paper. And now we're going to attach the chain guide. And really, the first step, is to, or the second step in the process is to attach the first bolt. And the way I'm going to do that is I put the chain guide in where I want it and run the bolt through the chain guide so it's just sticking out. So there's a little space between the motor and the bolt. Stick that piece of paper in there with the spacers, and once you get it in, you can just pull the paper out, and what happens is the spacers are left on the bolt, and you can just screw it into the motor. Then the next step would be to and you want to get it good and tight so that it'll hold the chain guide up. And once you get it in there, now you want to go in and get for step 3, we're going to insert the second bolt. And you just follow the same process. But, basically you get those spacers in there, stick the bolt in, stick the bolt through the spacers, pull out the piece of paper, line it up with the place on the motor. You need to just make sure you don't strip any threads or get cross-threaded. Just, tighten it up in there. And you got it at that point. Now, tighten up the bolts to the torque specifications for your motor. If you don't have one, about 5 Newton meters ought to be fine. And then the last step, we just want to test to make sure that it's all lined up and nothing's rubbing here. So I'm just going to, turn the crank. And as you can see, it looks pretty well lined up, and I don't hear anything rubbing. So I think I've got it at this point. Well, that's it, guys. That's how I change the chain guide on my electric mountain bike without removing anything. I hope I've given you something to think about, and I'll see you at the top.